Well, we'll go back to that. We have a Facebook question, and then I'll bring in all the other panellists. This is from Sue Todd in Yalama in Victoria. I'd like to know when ICAC is going to start investigating federal politicians.
Wow.
Let's go to Sam Dastyari.
I think there's been a few federal politicians that recently have been investigated. But look, touching on that and touching on what Salvatore said earlier, let's be clear. In this state, the sooner we ban donations from individuals, companies and businesses, the better. You know, I spent a lot of time in politics.
And unions?
Well, look, if you're going to ban it, you have to ban it for everybody. You have to set the same set of rules for everyone and move towards a completely public-funded model when it comes to how you fund your election campaigns.
Sorry, are you going to take that to the national conference?
Well, can I issue a federal thing at ICAC as well? Let me explain to you, because there's actually a few points here. Certainly for this state, for New South Wales, at a state level, it's something we need to do. And part of the reason is this. You know, I spent a lot of time talking politics, and I've been a party secretary, and I've been responsible for fundraising. I know what the Liberal Party clearly did with the Free Enterprise Foundation. There'll be an ICAC process and a legal process. They were funnelling money they weren't allowed to receive through that to bring it into their state branch, which is an illegal thing to do now. There'll be a process, there'll be court cases, there'll be this and that, but frankly, that's where it's going to end up. When I talk to my friends in the US who are involved in politics, this is the stat they give me that scares me. You know, the job of a federal US Congressman is to spend 85% of their time raising money.
Yeah.
How is that good for democracy? How is that good for public policy? How is that good for decision making? I believe New South Wales at a state level, and the state leader John Robertson's been really strong on this, should lead the way and ban it. Has the case been made to do it at federal level? I think you've got to be careful about a one-size-fits-all, but clearly in this state, in this city, there are calls, and rightfully so, to say, you know what, let's just bring it all to an end.
Okay. Well, I mean, the irony is that the Liberals could have won the election for $5.
Jonathan, if that's what they were prepared to do with an election they couldn't lose, imagine what they would have done if it was close.
Okay, Kate, McClymont.
What I was going to say is that why don't we have a federal ICAC? I mean, anyone who thinks that corruption stops at state borders is completely nuts.
Well,
so why? I mean, all I can think of is that both sides are going to get caught in it somewhere along the line.
Well, both sides have been caught in it in New South Wales, as we know.
But federally, that will happen as well. And is there a reluctance to push ahead and have one because politicians are going to be caught up in it?
Well, okay, I moved a motion to take to the next federal ALP conference, at the state conference a few weeks ago. I seconded a motion that this is something we should be seriously put it on the agenda, that we debate it at the next ALP federal conference. But here's my only thing that I think we need to do. We need to go a little bit further than where we've been at a state level. And I think we should be looking at something similar to what they've got in the UK and in New Zealand with the Serious Fraud Office that doesn't just look at the politicians and public servants, that's got to be part of it, but also looks at the white-collar crime, the white-collar crooks. You know, Jonathan touched on earlier about Commonwealth Bank. I mean, what's happened in Commonwealth Bank, Commonwealth Financial Planning, is a travesty. 400,000 people, look like up to 400,000 people have been ripped off with dodgy financial advice, and they're sitting there in the Combank paying themselves bonuses for it. You know, this is the kind of thing we should be looking at as well as the politics.
Okay, I'm just going to go back to. I'll come to this.